there she is. She's like doing the.
I would like to advise all those present that notice of this meeting has been provided to the public in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. That notice was published, city website, copies provided, the Bergen Record, El Especial, the North Star Ledger, Jersey Journal, also placed on the bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall. Any objections, if any, shall be made to the city clerk. Flag.
Please salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Cohn,
Present.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes, here.
Mrs. Imus,
Say here. Here.
Mrs. Jabor, President Zano,
Present.
Quintero,
Present.
Mr. Ramos,
Present.
Mr. Russo,
Present.
President Doyle.
Present. So we'll start with a little housekeeping. For those who are here for particular matters, where is it? Where is, no, I got it. Thank you. So, yeah, the second ordinance hearing for second reading, B 827, is being carried. And its accompanying resolution, which is CD1, is also being carried this evening. If you're here for either of those, for your information. A2 has been removed. And that's it for changes to what's on the agenda. I think I'd like to take a moment to welcome Councilwoman Imus here tonight for her first meeting. It's nice to have the full contingent back, and welcome aboard. Okay, so
We have a hearing on an ordinance amending the North End redevelopment plan for the North End rehabilitation area.
thank you. For those who are signing up, it's helpful when you indicate what you would like to speak on. So this is the 826 is the first one, and I have 6 people who did not indicate what they want to speak on. So I'm going to call your name out, and if you are not interested in this 826, just let me know, and maybe you can even yell out what it is you're interested in speaking on. Kira Brennan. This is Rockefeller, yes. 826 is Rockefeller as well, so thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Kira Berman, and I'm a current student at Miles Square Theater, currently studying voice and improv. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Miles Square Theater. Board President Ann Tuchel, who previously attended last month's first reading, could not be here in person due to the theater's annual Broadway Night fundraising event. Miles Square Theater, located at 1400 Clinton Street, has been a presence in Northwest Hoboken for nearly 10 years. We have been delighted to work alongside great neighbors like the Gravity Vault, Carpe Diem, Buey, and Hudson Table. In the past few years, we've welcomed a farmer's market and the very popular pickleball courts to our neighborhood. Northwest Hoboken is thriving. We are excited for our neighborhood to meet its full potential and have a more welcoming, inviting gateway to our city. Tonight, on behalf of the Miles Square Theater Board of Trustees, I'm here to urge you to vote yes on the Rockefeller Development Agreement. This partnership will bring new residents and additional commerce to our neighborhood. We are eager to welcome the additional foot traffic and commercial venues to Uptown Hoboken. We look forward to partnering with Rockefeller to provide residents with opportunities to experience live theater, music, gallery shows, and more. Thank you to those voting yes tonight on the second reading.
Thank you very much. Tony Soares.
So I'm here to speak on this ordinance tonight. I'm very much in favor of it. I listened to the workshop. I gave my input. I gave input at the online workshop a couple of weeks ago. And what I really appreciate at this, the buildings look different. They just don't look like a bunch of red boxes on our waterfront. And my input was, and it'll be again tonight, can we please make sure when we design buildings in Hoboken, we maintain parapets so that our buildings, landmark tops of buildings are not air conditioning units? That they've been, those parapets have been being removed routinely at the planning and construction stages during, I know the architect here doesn't want to do that, but I don't want to see it get lost in the translation of completion. Also, let's make sure that, and I know there's been some questions about the parking asset that's going to be given back to the city. I think it's a great thing. I think, you know, in a perfect world, you'd get a whole building, but it just doesn't financially work that well this way. So let's make sure there's definitely a clear delineation between the public asset and the private asset when you do the details, that who maintains what and where, so that you're not conflicting with the condo association or the ownership of the residential. I've many conversations with the developers' representatives. I think they're probably one of the best in the world that could to do this project. I think it's high time that the entries to Hoboken are not filled with empty wax factories and soap factories, and are like our entrances are the ugliest part of our city. And I think it's time we get them developed. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. George Kahn? Are you speaking on this same topic?
I am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a resident of Hoboken. I've lived here for 22 years, raised 2 children here, spent a lot of time at that soccer field up there, and I'm just really excited about the potential for the north side of town, what's been created there already, and what can be done in the future. And I think this project specifically is going to go a long way to advance that. Love the idea of bringing in all this new retail, really activating 15th Street with the plaza and making it sort of a vibrant retail corridor, obviously more public space with the linear park. So I just think it's a great opportunity to kind of extend what we already have up to 14th Street, what we've seen on the west side of town a little bit. I also love the architecture of the buildings. I think they're beautiful and will serve as a great gateway into the city. So I'm thrilled about it. I love that I live in that neighborhood, and we'll have hopefully all this new retail to walk to, better street connectivity, and just really excited about the prospect. And the municipal garage, obviously having affordable public parking options uptown is desperately needed for family and friends who visit us, for people to support the retail. So I think that's also a great aspect of this development. So I'm definitely in favor of it, and I hope to see it move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Is it Dan or Don Dempsey? Don?
So I've been a Hoboken resident for the last 12 years, and I really wasn't planning to come here tonight until I tried to park my car on the street last night and looked for over an hour and couldn't find anything. So I'm very much in favor of this development. I live uptown for the last 6 years, and public parking, street parking has been an issue for the last, actually my entire time there. So very much in favor of this development just for that aspect alone. The new development for retail, I'm looking forward to hopefully having what we used to have on Washington, which is mom and pop shops and different things other than just the Gap and Nike. I think it's a great opportunity for, you know, small businesses and new things like that to come up. So, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Dempsey. Patricia Waiters, did you sign up for this? Okay. Sabrina Stoffel, is this the one you signed up for, Sabrina?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Stoffel. I speak a lot on land use issues. It's just one of the things that I find really interesting in bringing a city together and community together. And am I doing that? Why is that happening? It's so bad.
Not you. You're good, Sabrina.
Okay.
Yep.
I've been talking about this project for so many more years than it's even been an approved project. Everybody here knows that I was one of the people that brought Miles Square Theater to the North End, and, you know, just following people like Carpe Diem and the Beer Garden to create a real neighborhood up there. And as people started moving in and you got more foot traffic, it really started to feel like something. And I'm excited for the next neighborhood of Hoboken to bring not just the benefits of that community, but the benefits of the bigger development opportunity, like having the light rail being able to be a stop up there in the future. And the parking, of course, being the first step, I think, is one of the keys to making everybody feel like this is a success right away. So I definitely urge a yes vote on this. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Manuel Rivera Soler.
Thank you, Council President, members of the council, members of the public. I appreciate the opportunity. Council President, although, again, I also am in favor, I have been to some of these meetings, and of course, the parking is important, a paramount issue, and as well as any affordability. But I would like to ask this council, or you, sir, if you could please, for members of the public that are not completely aware, what are the changes that are being proposed in this ordinance B826, the specific reason that is being amended? If we could have that information from members of the public, as well as the reasoning for it, who was in charge of making or suggesting any amendments to the ordinance as it stands currently, or pardon me, as it stands currently. There's a little feedback noise over there. So, Council President, these are the questions. Regardless if we appreciate the development or not, members of the public are interested in knowing which are the amendments, which are the changes, if any, and why are they being implemented at this point in time, Council President. And that, with that, if you want to answer the question, I would appreciate it. If not, then I guess I'll yield back, because you're not. Thank you.
Thank you. There are no other members of the public who signed up to
Motion to
speak.
close public portion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Council members? Councilwoman Fisher, you look poised.
I'm ready. So just to respond to Manny's questions, this amendment tonight for the North End redevelopment plan is specifically to accommodate the Rockefeller sites. There are 3 different properties. The full city block between 15th and 16th, Clinton and Willow and Clinton. The full city block between 15th and 16th between Park and Willow, and the half city block just south, or between Park and Willow, just south of 15th there. So this is in general, what the amendments are is to wrap around the proposed development they have for all of those sites. So we have an existing plan in place that we approved, I don't even know, 2022 maybe, around there.
Yeah.
And initially around 2022. Took us forever. I've been on the council since 2016, and it took us all 6 years that I was on the council, and I think my colleagues worked on it for years before that. But we put something in place that really contemplated building a neighborhood, to Sabrina's point, up in the north corner. What we didn't want to do was build out like Jersey City has, where you have these full, giant, full city blocks. Buildings. We wanted to make sure each one of these big sites was going to be broken in half with 2 separate buildings and space in between them, so it was a walkable area, and it just created and kind of replicated some of our neighborhoods in the rest of Hoboken, contemplating that the buildings would be taller in the corner and edges. I think we felt very good about that, and in general, most of the projects that have come before us have been conforming to that plan with a little bit of height creep, which is happening here as well. These buildings are definitely slightly higher than what our existing plan calls for. That being said, I think I'm pretty excited about this plan. It really is. I think they did a great job when they originally came in and presented kind of this change to the plan that is twofold. One is on the site that is just south of the soccer field. Originally, it was going to be 2 buildings with space in the middle. They're just going to make 1 building, but they're going to put space on the edge, actually more space than they would have had in between them, but that will be a giant plaza directly south of 1600 Park soccer field, and that's great. We have family, we have everyone that, it'll kind of bring this great bridge to the soccer field. It'll be this bridge to Harborside Park. It is going to be the first thing that you see when you come over both the park and Willow Bridges. You're going to see what they're referring to as Gateway Plaza. And it's just going to be very inviting for our city. They have a landscaped area in front, and hopefully over time we'll have like public art, et cetera, in that area. The other thing they did is instead of having just this straight linear park, it kind of bends, and the buildings have an interesting architectural feature. They have like a curve to them. I will tell you, I personally was not excited about either one of these because I was kind of like, I liked our plan that we approved. Jen Giotino was on the North End Development Committee at the time, and she just loved it. And when she loved it, we all loved it, and we all just kind of fell into place behind it. Importantly, something that I pushed for and my colleagues supported was requiring that they build a municipal parking garage. It was something always contemplated in the North End. We didn't have a lot of space left to accomplish that. We've not had a municipal parking garage in the North End. Everything that people said tonight, I'm Phil's 5th Ward, I'm 2nd Ward. We've heard about lack of parking garage in Hoboken for a long time, or North End, so that's a positive as well. And then lastly, when we originally contemplated this project, or they contemplated it, they wanted it to open onto Park Avenue, and makes sense, right? You want to have your front entrance directly across from a park. But what we realized with all of the traffic disruptions over the last year is we can't have a residential entrance be on our main highway. And so we worked really hard with Rockefeller to get them to reorient the building so it faced Willow Avenue. And really what that does is it really activates the Willow Avenue kind of commercial corridor, and it just really, strengthens the entire northwest corner. So we're excited about that. So I'm supportive. The couple things I would just add into this, just so it's part of the public discussion. This is just the plan. We're going to have the redevelopment agreement at the next meeting. Diane, my colleague who had her introduction to this last week, raised a couple really great issues that I'm going to address, if you don't mind, Diane. One is to Tony's point, the parapets, at the top, or the screens around. The actual plan requires them, so we will have to have those required in the developer's agreement, and that's the screen around the utilities that are on the roof. Second, we had a long conversation about ensuring, because of where this sits, it's in such an important road where we are requiring that they handle all trash underneath the footprint of the property. So they're going to have to make sure their design allows for that, and there won't be any trash like left on the sidewalks. We have new requirements for big buildings. And then lastly, dog accommodations. We don't know what that is yet, but we will come back and address dog accommodations in the redevelopers agreement. So that's everything.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Before I go to anyone else, I neglected to, the planning board did a consistency review of this amendment, and it unanimously voted in favor, or finding that it was consistent with the master plan and the land use element. There was one recommendation that which I'll read. The board recommends that in the non-incentivized section of the amending ordinance, if you look at it, the supporting documentation, it's figure 34, the redevelopers and the city are encouraged to negotiate a more fluid alignment and connection of the linear park to the open space at the northern end of 7. So in one version, it's kind of a straight line over, and then it kind of jumps up to the northern portion. In the incentivized portion, which means if they give more public benefits, they can get more height in this instance, predominantly. It kind of curves, as Councilwoman Fisher described, and it lines up with this northern piece better. And the planning board felt that curve was better than the other alternative, but if in the negotiations we ended up without the incentivized, try to work that curve in there anyway. That was the planning board's recommendation. But we don't, but overall it was 100% unanimous acceptance of the plan, as consistent with the master plan, that is. Councilman Cohen?
Thank you, Council President. So I've been on the City Council for 6 years. I've been on the North End Redevelopment or Committee, or the Community Development Committee when it wasn't just the North End. And I think in all 6 years, we've been dealing with this project. And we've seen a lot of different iterations of it. The garage and parking is a big element in this plan. There was a time when there was a swimming pool in this plan. There have been all kinds, which is another thing that we hear about uptown in the Fifth Ward. But I want to give credit to Councilwoman Fisher for wanting to have the garage, and the feedback that I've gotten has been very positive from people uptown. The idea that, again, in my mind, it's not necessarily the thing I think that we'd want to have in that location, because it really is close to our waterfront, it is close to our parks, but I do acknowledge the fact that people are going to be coming and going from this place, and it's also going to support retail as well as, and there's going to be a significant retail component here. There was a lot of thought that went into this design. I want to, give acknowledgement to the Rockefeller team, and also to Director Brown and the folks in the City Hall working on the development. Councilwoman Fisher talked about how we don't want a neighborhood looking like Jersey City. No disrespect to Jersey City, but we wanted to have a thoughtful streetscape. You see tiering, you see sight lines preserved with respect to the linear park. The linear park is central to this design. A large percentage of this district relates to the linear park sub-district, which opens up onto the 1600 Park Field. I think families that go to enjoy the parks, that go to enjoy the retail, that will be walking along our waterfront park, will be enjoying turning off by Weehawken Cove into this area, to be exploring this area, to be shopping in this area, to be going with families, to be relaxing in this area, and for families to move here to live. So I think it accomplishes a lot of the goals. It required a lot of patience. Obviously, financial issues relate to this as well. Great plans also need to be economically viable plans, and that required a lot of time and a lot of energy from all parts concerned. So, for the folks who worked on this committee alongside me, Councilman Russo, Councilman Fisher, and the people who worked on the prior years on this, a lot of thought went into this. I'm supportive of it. I'm looking forward to seeing it done. We've seen piles of rubble greeting you as you go over the bridge between Weehawken and Hoboken. As you sit through traffic waiting to enter the city, you look at rubble-strewn piles, and that's basically what greets you. And what's going to greet you when this is done is going to be a completely revitalized neighborhood. A neighborhood that didn't exist will exist, and I think it will enhance our city. It will enhance uptown Hoboken, and also there are a lot of green aspects that relate to it. We insisted on having green roofs, retention basins. There's a lot of green elements in this plan that will work well. We know the rebuild by design construction is going there. Weehawken Cove was an entry point for Superstorm Sandy that flooded this area. We will have the Weehawken Cove Resiliency Park will be adjacent to this area. I think it's really going to be an exciting addition to uptown Hoboken. So thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Council President. Would you like me to continue?
Councilman Russo?
Just quickly, Council President, as most of you know who served with me in the committee here, I still have a little bit of a concern when it comes to parking related to this entire project, and of course, the finances of it and the land value. But I think we can move it forward as a plan, and I'm hopeful that in the redevelopment agreement, we could work some of that out, because I think they're minor things. I think we want to make sure that we're allocating parking for the residents in the buildings, and that's not an additional fee, right? Because we all know what happens. If you're paying those additional fees, people are going to look onto the street first, right? So there's little things in here that I think are still a concern that we could potentially work out in an agreement. But I'm okay deferring to the rest of the council and moving this plan forward. Hopefully, we could work those things out. Just wanted to put that on the record.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Hearing on an ordinance authorizing an amendment to and the execution of a lease agreement between the City of Hoboken Community Investment Strategy Incorporated as the property is located at 259 11th Street, also known as 1033 Willow Avenue, Block 172, Lot 17.
Ms. Waiters, did you sign up for this? Patricia? Yeah. Okay. Would you break the suspense and tell us what you did sign up for? Okay, I'll just keep calling you for everyone. All right. No, that's fine. Then no members of the public have signed up to speak?
On
On this one? There's two.
You may have signed the wrong sign-in sheet, because, sir, are you seeking to speak on 826? So we've already called the vote. It has passed, so I'm not, you can wait till we'd have to reopen it. It's passed. I'm sorry.
Never say never.
No, well, this,
It's,
well,
We can move it into the public.
well, that will be in about an hour.
No, in the agenda public.
yeah.
After the rest
Let
of
him
the
talk.
ordinances, he could speak at the agenda public.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not right now.
No, just a
making
a few
suggestions.
minutes.
Few minutes.
Stick around, okay? Thank you.
Hey, no, it's not.
He was standing here. I thought you were suggesting something else, Councilman. So no other members of the public have
Motion to
signed up
close
to
public
speak,
portion.
828.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I have a question.
Councilwoman Fisher.
Yep. I think this is for maybe Corporation Counsel. When I read through the change to the lease, I see all we're doing is effectively changing it to an LLC, and it seems to be an LLC that is active in the space. But you expanded the language for like a cure provision, where originally it was they had a short period of time, and now it seems indefinite to cure. Do you know why that? Or like, can you give color behind that?
Are you talking about the provision for my office to review it?
I think they expanded it, but I don't know that it was indefinite. I think it was probably the
I
financer.
didn't mean indefinite. It just looked like it went from a short period to something like very long, and I was just curious as to why they suddenly seem to have not unlimited, but a lengthy period of time to
I
cure
think
default.
The lender had, I think,
Required it?
additional requirements to
Okay.
have rights with regard to a foreclosure, as I read it.
Got it. Okay. Nope, that's good. That was it.
All right, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Quintero.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos. Mr. Russo.
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Hearing on an ordinance amending Chapter 190-11 entitled Loading Zones designated to change loading zone hours at various locations on Washington Street.
Manuel Rivera Soler.
Diane, get there. Are you going to ask first about?
Once again, thank you, Council President. Council President, I rise to ask a few questions on this ordinance, only because they don't need to complain in front of the council to the deputy clerk or the clerk. It was difficult to get information from the portal today and yesterday to download the ordinance per se. It kept giving you an error message. I just want to put it out there so in case no one had noticed or no one gave information on that. So I would like to ask if members of the public could understand, again, those that don't have the opportunity to access the portal, what are the times that are being proposed to be changed? Why are they being changed? Is this temporary change for the Christmas season or the holiday season, not to offend anyone? And when we also see something attached to it in the consent agenda, I believe it's T2, in regards to the estipple process of it, is that again because of the holiday season? And can members of the public also get information on that? And since I'm here, Council President, this I was going to say in public portion, but I do have time. And I would like to ask or to point out, as I traverse or walk through the community, and especially the 6th Ward and others, we have been noticing delivery trucks in loading zone areas, parked for a longer time than required or than the code allows. These organizations are dispatching their packages and stuff in these areas. Does the city or is the city aware of this? And what process is the city doing to resolve this issue? Do we have a special relationship with this company? Thank you. I would say it, Amazon. Somebody wants me to say that. So do we have an agreement with them? Does that agreement entail payment for the use of this space? These are questions that members of the public are interested in knowing due to the fact that it is public space. It belongs to all of us. We all need to use it at certain points. And if it's occupied for an extended period of time, how could a grandma or a person with a disability have the access to use that space at that time? So that's just an extra. You don't have to answer that second part if you do not have that information, but the first part, we would appreciate it. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you. No other members of the public have signed up to public speak. I heard a second. Okay, Mr. Freener, please
No,
call
wait.
the vote.
All those in favor?
Oh, that's right.
Aye.
Okay, so it's closed.
Close the hearing.
Say aye.
We just closed
All right.
the public portion, and
All
now
in favor.
Councilwoman Fisher would like to speak.
Okay.
Do we need an all in favor?
Oh, wait a minute,
An
just a
all in
second.
favor.
I apologize. The Chair of the Transportation.
I was just going to answer Manny's question
No,
and
go ahead.
to clarify. So this just updates all of the loading zone timelines to go from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., or sorry, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the stretch of Observer to 8th Street. It makes it uniform because currently some of them start at 8 a.m., some of them end at 2 p.m. It just creates a uniform system in terms of the expectation around the hours from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. for all loading zones to be 20-minute loading zones.
And as for the second portion, there's no special arrangement. Anyone can park in the delivery spots for 20 minutes, and if somebody's there more than 20 minutes, it's just an enforcement issue. It's not a preferential treatment for one particular company.
Sorry, 6 to 6.
Councilman
Yeah.
Fisher?
So the question, and I exchanged with Greg on text, is can you just talk about what the actual, I think so many people are confused about what the rules are in the loading zones as well as what the rules are with the cameras, like when they're going to be used, et cetera. So if you could give color on both, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, so the loading zones aren't designated for a particular type of vehicle or user. So just like the ordinance states, if a truck or a passenger vehicle enters the loading zone and they stay within the posted time limit, there's no reason that the camera would issue a violation for that type of
And do
use.
they all have time limits listed? Do they all say like 20 minute?
Yeah, every sign has the times they're in effect and then the duration for when they're in effect.
Okay.
And whether or not they're photo enforced.
And then lastly, and I know it's in there and I don't think I remember looking for it. How many of them are currently at 6 a.m.? Like how much of a change is that to the early? And the question stems from people that park overnight and like leave in the morning at 8 to go to work and have been parking in a loading zone overnight. Like how many of those are going to be changed, or most of them are already 6 a.m.?
Most of them are already 6 a.m. I think there might be one or two that are
Just one?
south
Just
of
one.
First Street that start at 8.
Got it. Okay.
And the change is 6 to 6, not 6 to
right,
7.
yeah.
6 to 6.
Manny. So, thank you,
Yeah, wait,
Director.
Diane has a question.
Can I ask a question? So when
Councilwoman
no
Imus?
one, so if a member of the public parks there, they will not get a ticket if they're there for less than 20 minutes and it's on the photo system?
Yeah, during the posted time. So if it's in effect from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and you're there parked for 20 minutes or less, there's no violation that would be issued.
All right, anyone else? Councilman
Just
Cohen?
one quick comment. I never really understood why the loading zone would end at 2 o'clock in the middle of a workday when businesses are still getting delivery. I think this is going to free up in a more common sense way, but during the afternoon business hours when deliveries are coming and going and people are picking up things from stores, that they'll be able to take advantage of that loading zone and have it dedicated for that and not for 4-hour parking. So that's it. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman? Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohen?
Aye.
Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imish?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Hearing on an ordinance amending Chapter 190-9 entitled Stop Streets, designated to add multi-way stop controls to the intersection of Park Avenue and 13th Street.
Rosemarie Markle?
Hi, I have one quick question. Is this stop sign just for cars or for all wheeled transportation? Because I have to tell you, I don't ride a bike or have a car. I'm a pedestrian, and I've been almost struck by more bicycles than cars. So is there any way that we can enforce the bicycles to also obey these stop signs that are being put all over the city? Because right now they don't. And I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Markle. Patricia Waiters? All right, well, I still don't know what she signed up for. So there are no other members of the
Motion to
public
close
signed
public
up to
portion.
speak?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohen?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imish?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos?
Aye.
Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Hearing on an ordinance amending Chapter 147 mobile rental food vendor and Chapter 179A taxi cabs to remove fixed calendar renewal dates and transition to rolling approvals and renewals.
No members of the public have signed up to speak.
Motion to close public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohen?
Aye.
Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imish?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye. Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos?
Aye.
Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Hearing on an ordinance amending Chapter 192-4A entitled Parking for Persons with Disabilities to remove reserved spaces on Willow Avenue and add a reserved space on Bloomfield Street.
Pasqualina?
Okay, I'm Pasqualina Annunziata. I'll be here a lot of time. Everybody know me. What's the reason? I'm tired to be treated. This is an arrest for me. The arrest, the insult, they want to intimidate. So many park Hoboken. No more place to park. Too many handicap. Even if for no reason. I applied 9 years ago. I pay the money. I give all of the paper. But all the time they invent something. Across the street from me is a park for 2 signs. But when I told the Brana lawyer, that's illegal. 1 week after, the lady come and put the plate. So many plate in back of the car. Don't mean that's true. Okay, I realize how many people got the prayer, tag, whatever they call. No that, no pay money and no nothing. I'm tired to wait. People should feel bad to make me come here so many times. That's excuse. That's arrest, whatever they call it. I have a paper. I did everything. The only thing they got to give me the spot. What do they want me to park? So many handicap. They make Hoboken ruined. You understand? They're ruined. Too many people got handicap. People might be buy the little thing in the car for the friend or for whatever. I went to the doctor. I showed the proof that I was hurt. I'm not too young, and I want to use the park. If you have a park for everybody, don't have a small space for me. One said that one, another one said that one, another one. No. Enough is enough. I want my space. I don't want to be treated. Disrespect.
Okay, thank you.
So I know Brana lawyer is involved to give order what to do. I just talk to you, remember. Give order to pour my sign now. Enough is enough. Thank you very much for listening. And I don't think I'm going to wait no long. I realize what they do. Good night.
Thank you. No other members of the public have signed up to
Motion to
speak?
close public portion?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Farina, I believe you can call the
Mr.
vote.
Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mr. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle?
Aye. So Jerry? Okay. Councilman Russo, is this when you thought there would be a good time for the public portion for the gentleman to speak?
Why not?
We might learn something for the,
No, it could be, there's another public portion, but
Yeah.
the gentleman who's, I don't know your name because I can't find it on the list. If you could come up and,
I will keep it somewhat brief. My name is Lucas Kabalsik. I'm the owner of the Gravity Vault indoor rock climbing facility at 1423 Clinton. Here with a couple of other fellow business owners in the area, and we are in support and in favor of the Rockefeller Group's application, which I know you've already approved. What we wanted to beg of the council was to consider that the current amount of development going on in the North End has created a situation where our businesses are suffering dramatically. We don't have the ability to have our customers, never mind our staff, have a place to park. Hearing a resident talk about driving around the block for an hour, it's commonplace. I'm seeing members and memberships getting canceled on a daily basis because people are just becoming so frustrated with trying to basically patronize my business. The thought process was, if these developers are doing these great things and basically building out these spaces, if there's a way to require them to provide off-street parking during this phase. For the next, say, 5 years, we're going to be under construction on the North End, one city square block at a time. Again, I'm in favor of it. Would love to see that happen. I've been there for 7 years. We were more of trailblazing on the North End when it happened. But street parking is the livelihood of my business. That's where people park. Average customer of mine stays for about an hour to an hour and a half. So I see the cycle of those parking spaces turn on a regular basis. We're now seeing full city square blocks being cordoned off and all of the available parking being blocked. The block in front of my business on 14th Street was closed for 1 month, 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time, posted no parking from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I actively reached out to Phil Cohn. I actively reached out to the mayor's office. I was calling the police department on a daily basis because not only were the streets blocked, but we had utility trucks like PSE&G, Air Group, HVAC contractors, taking the parking spots and not just taking them, but staying for 8 to 10 hours at a time. So again, where my customers are churning and turning every hour and a half to 2 hours, 50 parking spaces can be utilized by hundreds of people over the course of a day. They're being sat on all day long. So again, in full support of the development, want to see the north end be developed. But if there's a way that you as a council can somehow put in the ordinances or in these approvals that these developers have to provide, again, systematically, off-street parking, maybe just for our employees. They're residents of Hoboken. We want to see these, even in many cases, young children, high school, Stevens College students have jobs, but they can't park and are driving around the block. Then I'm writing them up for being late. I have birthday parties and people canceling their memberships because they can't access my space. I don't want development to come at the foothills of businesses being closed. And we're literally in the stage of the last few months seeing that much of an effect. And, you know, it's dramatic, but it's very real. And I'm raising the white flag. I've tried to reach out to everybody I could. I've reached out to the developers. I've reached out to the landlord who owns adjacent properties. What can you do? Can you provide parking? What can we do in the short term? And everyone has basically said, you need to go back to the city. We need the city to basically make it easier for them to provide parking for these individuals. Require all of the utilities, require all of the contractors to park off the street. Make sure that they don't park and take up parking spaces for 8 to 10 hours at a time. They sit in our loading zones. They've closed my street for 4 weeks in a row. All of these things are coming at the detriment of those local businesses. We want to see it thrive. We want to still be there when that happens. So if there's any way that you can see, I don't have the right answer, happy to have a private meeting in response to that, have many ideas. I've shared them with Phil. I've shared them with the mayor's office. But I think that there needs to be a way for the council to see that this is going to be it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's what I think we all see. Again, Gravity Vault owner, Hudson Table owner, Hudsonica owner, we're all on that north end. We're all within a city block of each other. And the last several months, we've seen our revenues, our customers all become slashed. Dramatic numbers because of what's going on. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Parking is the issue. We know that the light is at the end of the tunnel, but what can we do in the short term and what can you do to help us?
Thank you. I know it's not going to be the solution. I can tell you that with this development, the Rockefeller Group or whatever, Park Willow LLC, is required to build the garage first before they can break ground for any of the other buildings. So it will be it'll be up front. It won't be in a day.
We were in touch with them and they said it would be finished in 2029.
Oh, yeah, it's not a tomorrow thing.
And
Yeah,
we're
so
looking
I
at 3.5
told you it
years
wasn't
from
the
now, it'll be fantastic again, but the next 3.5 years.
In the agreement, I mean, the city just negotiated for 914 to 930 Monroe, where they had to on-site accommodate the parking for their workers, which could be an awful lot of, they're building, I don't know, 700 units or something. So anyway, there are things we can try to do. And Councilman Cohen, did you?
Yeah, thanks. First, I want to acknowledge all three of you. We've been in touch. There have been instances where there was over signage for no parking, where the Department of Transportation actually physically went out into the neighborhood and re-signed things that should not have been no parking because the work wasn't actually going on at that time. I know how frustrating that was for you guys.
And respectfully, we brought it to your attention.
You did.
So that's, again, we're trying to run our businesses and not have to
100%.
monitor when the no parking signs are going up or coming down.
You brought it to our attention. I got on it. The Director of Transportation went out there personally with his staff, and they tried to address that when you brought it to our attention in real time. Speaking of in real time, I recognize that having that lot in 2029 is not going to help you between now and then, but there are continuing conversations. I've been in touch with Rockefeller Group about some additional proposals in the interim while the construction's going on. There are costs associated with creating a lot where heavy vehicles can park on it, where it's just dirt or stones and things like that. So it's not like you can just have people roll onto these properties and park their cars during construction. But there are active discussions going on. I had some of them just earlier this week. So stay tuned on that. It will require some financial commitment from some of the developers in the neighborhood. So I would like to think that the city will encourage them to make those contributions, because even though it would be temporary parking on those sites, it would mean a lot to you guys. And if they could have the construction vehicles in the neighborhood off the streets so that your customers can use those streets, that would, you're putting up with a lot right now. And it is for the long-term good of the neighborhood and the city, and that infrastructure needs to be built for this project to be done. But you guys have been here through COVID. I know you're a new member of the business community, but we'd like to see you guys succeed and stay. So we're going to continue that dialogue. I don't think you necessarily have to wait until 2029 to get that parking. We're going to see if we can do something sooner. So.
Council
We won't be
President.
here in 2029 if we do. I mean,
Council
I'm
President.
being very transparent, and
Yep.
if there's a way to even force them to subsidize the local garage, our customers are accustomed to paying for parking. They pay the street rates. Well, you try to send us to private garages, and they are charging $15 or $20 for what would have been $2 or $3 on the street. It just doesn't make financial sense for customers to still come and pay that. So if, again, there's a way that the council, if you can force the developers as part of their ordinances and their approvals to have to subsidize a certain amount of public parking to allow residents or patrons to come into the city to visit our businesses and to patronize the businesses without having to pay an added.
And we recognize it's not just for your customers, it's for your employees as well. It's for everyone to service your business. So, yep.
Council President, I think the what we haven't done a good job of as a city around all of these projects is we don't solve for this exact issue. We don't solve for, the least disruption to our residents and our local businesses. And we definitely can do more. I mean, we saw that with Jersey Avenue when they wanted to close it for 5 months. And that was just because that's what the contractor wanted. Well, that didn't work for the city, and we pushed back and we were able to get it to 1 month. All of these projects, we should be, I say we have 2 people that are going to be the next mayor. We should be insisting that any project solve for protecting the residents and access, going through streets. We don't have to close a really giant wide street necessarily and just shut down all of the parking to accommodate a project that could potentially be done like on one side and then do the other side and protect parking. And I think the other thing is, you watch large projects be done in a place like New York City all the time, and the contractors are just forced to park in a garage. Like we should be requiring that these contractors aren't allowed to park on site. They should be required to either park in a garage or even like park in Secaucus and take the path in, like park in a lot somewhere further afield and have a shuttle come in. But like it should be a minimum requirement for our Office of Emergency Management, our HPU, all of our departments should not just hand out temporary parking, no parking signs just because someone paid. We should have a very, very rigid, law that says for these long projects, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. We even have projects on the side streets, not the big ones, where we have contractors that are allowed to have temporary no parking signs for 2 years, and they take up 4 parking spots on a residential block in a neighborhood that can't afford, have those contractors go park in a garage somewhere and let the person doing construction incur that cost. So I think there's just a lot more that we can do, and I think hopefully we'll have an opportunity to do that with a more interested mayor. Both of these guys will be an interested mayor.
Thank you.
By the way, I have noticed.
Speak into the microphone, if you would, and please wrap up, too.
Yes.
Sorry.
I have noticed, by the way, less contractors on the street, so I appreciate it. And he's aware as well. I've been there 11 years, so I've been, pretty fully invested. And one of the big pulls of being in that part of town has been the fact that in a town where parking is not very common, it used to be common, and now it's actually the opposite. Obviously, that's not anyone's problem. It's not even, I signed up for what I signed up for, but I think some more clarity on how long, like between 15th and 16th on Clinton is now completely, one side has 20 parking spots that are gone because of not the Poggi Press, but the other Bijou Advanced project. It would be great to know how long that's going to be bumped out for construction. Little things like that, which aren't really discussed. How long are we going to lose 20 spots on, in an area where it was pretty much easy to find spots? Little things like that I don't think are actually brought up on these conversations, because I also live above Hudson Table, and I have a daughter. I don't even know where to walk half the time, which isn't necessarily development. It's partially other, street projects and things like that. But it's extremely disruptive, and like Lucas said, we're very much pro-development. We're in favor of this project. We want it to happen. But, we have 10-year leases with 5-year options. We're not in this necessarily for 20, 30 years. So I think we're also, Yash and I from Hudsonica, we're all pretty intelligent business people that can come up with plans that are reasonable and affordable, and ideas that can potentially, limit the disruption for the next 3 to 5 years. So,
Thank you.
Hearing us, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a vexing issue, certainly. Rosemary Markle, you've signed up for quite a
Too
few.
many tonight. Who's playing with the mic? Okay, so I can talk about the consent agenda, correct? Yes. So under claims, because you all know by now I read every one of them, there's a check that was made out for $1,250 for sketches for the mayoral portrait. Is this really a necessity, considering we're in a crunch here and all we keep doing is getting a tax increase? I'm assuming they're hung somewhere in City Hall, but since residents aren't allowed to walk around, who gets to see them? Under the resolutions, A1, it's a dispensary. Where is this dispensary going to be located, since I didn't find any address in the backup except for the office address? Is that where this dispensary will be going? Then the next 3 items, and then I'll be done. I want to talk about fiscal responsibility. CA5, since the contractor made this problem, will they be reimbursing the city? Why should we be on the hook for mistakes, and why did this happen when we hire engineers to oversee all projects? Maybe the engineer should also reimburse the city. CA7, North Hudson Sewage Authority should be paying for this one. After all, it was their hire that made all these mistakes and had to be removed, and we had to hire new people. CA9, new engineers, since again, things weren't done properly. Will we get money back from the engineers that were assigned to this project and didn't account for all that is listed in the backup? I mean, we really have to think about, like these gentlemen said, about parking for their businesses. When you're just giving away parking spaces willy-nilly, you take them away from one spot, they get taken away from every spot in the town. We're 1 square mile. That's it for that. On the ordinances for the first reading, I have to do that after the...
Yeah,
All right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Well, thank you. Patricia Waiters. Okay, thank her. Pasqualina Angelique, I think she has departed. And Manuel Rivera Soler.
Thank you, Council President. Manuel Rivera Soler. Council President, just before a preamble, before I continue, no, I just want to let the people know, no, I am not jinxed. I am not a jinx. This was because a comment that I made 2 meetings ago when I said I was going to speak in consent agenda for the last time as a member of the public. Could have jinxed myself, but no, not a jinx. I just said that I wasn't speaking in that section, not that I was not speaking in public portion. Anyway, just wanted to correct that record. I just don't want to be looked at as a jinx. Also, Council President, if I can now continue in consent agenda, yes, I would like to also know on A1, the agreement that was made or the approval that was made for the Karma dispensary. If members of the public could find more information. Again, today's an anomaly. It was difficult to get the information on the portal. Again, CA1, CA2, Council President, if you can let members of the public, the reason why that bid was rejected, the formality as to why these bids get rejected, severity, and who does the rejecting. Also, Council President, I continue in consent agenda, CA5, CA8, CA9. In community development, sorry, that one was out. I was going to say CD2, but finances, F1, and in CL1, the clerks. I would just like to know, it says here you're calling for the meetings of a special meeting on November 5th. Can you please let members of the public, was it a normal November 5th election council, November 5th council meeting, or is the special meeting minutes because you had a prior meeting amongst yourselves? Is that the reason, and is that why that's being called a special minutes? Of course, in Corporation Council, I don't want him to always be left out, C1, CC2, and Council President and Transportation and Parking. I made a mistake before. I meant to say in B 829, T3, which is the estoppel for the loading zones, and that was the question. And Council President, if you could help members of the public understand another point of order in regards to this agenda. Is it, and I've been confused for a couple of weeks, maybe because I was busy, but when now you say on second reading, there's a separate section now where members of the public can ask questions on first reading? I don't know. I didn't think that was allowed to ask questions. I thought it was all in the same agenda where you separated, and is that the way it's going to be always and going forward? And Council President, yeah, I still have time, but I will be gracious and yield back in case you're able to answer any of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Manny. Just as an overview, the bids came in much higher than we expected, so we rejected all of them because we don't have the money to pay for them. With regard, we don't take public comment on first readings, period. So, but because the public complained that the public portion at the end of the meeting was after the first readings had been voted on, we've moved the general public portion where you can speak about anything you want, not related to the agenda necessarily, and that is right before the first readings. So in theory, you could come up and talk about the first reading if you are so inclined, just like you could talk about it after the first reading as we had done before. So as far as the other 8 or 10 that CL1, I asked the same question about the special meeting. So great minds think alike, Manny. The closed session before the meeting is a special meeting. So anyway, I think.
Very good.
All right. Is that okay? I got some of them. No other members of the public are signed up to speak?
Close public portion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so council members, would you like to inform me as to which items you like pulled?
Claims.
Okay.
CA6.
A1. Which one? CC1?
CC1.
One, yep, so A1 and CC1.
Okay.
CA8.
It's first reading of the.
Excuse
Go
me?
ahead. I'm gonna talk to Corporation Council. I'm good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
CA8.
CA8?
Yeah, just for a vote.
Okay. Anyone else? So, Mr. Farina, claims A1, CA6, CA8, CC1, and I think I'm not missing anything. So
Claims. Yeah, you said claims.
I said claims.
Sorry.
Yep. So on the rest, Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohen?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imish?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle?
Aye. So claims, Councilman Presenzano.
Yeah, I've got. Rose picked up a good one, so I'll give you credit for reading. Well, no, I'll give you found it. I found it as well, so I was looking at this. I just curious, is this a common practice with all mayors that we do paintings for them? I guess a sketch then would lead to a painting, would lead to something hanging on the wall, which I see upstairs when we get the opportunity to get on the third floor. or the second floor. Is this something common? I'm asking it because I don't know. So I don't know who's been here the longest. Somebody could tell me.
Well, the fact that there are portraits on the second
Correct.
floor answer the question partially.
Partially,
But I don't know whether
who's
every
paid for 'em?
prior mayor has had that. I don't know whether Councilman Russo could share some.
Yeah, it hasn't been, and I don't know how they've all been paid for. Some may have been donated, some may have been paid by the city. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Stratton, do you want to add anything on this, or you?
I can tell you that prior Mayor Zimmer had a sketch or a portrait started, and she decided not to complete it. And that's the extent of my knowledge of past portraits for.
All right. Then, okay.
She didn't complete it.
And then she moved.
She didn't like it. No, I don't know. I'm only kidding.
All right.
Then I have a second one, which is 2502835, which is the New York City Department of Finance, and that's a violation. So it's $75. So I'm guessing either a parking ticket or a toll fine of some sort. I know it's minutia.
2500285.
2502835, kind of on page 4, halfway down.
2835.
I think it's on page 4.
That's okay.
I'm just asking, what is that? Is that one of our city vehicles or one of our?
I think Director
Or one of our employees.
Stratton would be the best person.
If you give me a second, I'll look up the violation.
Okay. Okay.
A voice from the heavens.
Yeah, that's. I was just gonna say.
It was the sketch artist.
Our detective bureau had an investigation that took them into the city
Okay.
while they were parked conducting that investigation.
They dinged them?
They were not immune to
Wow.
receiving a parking summons, and now we have to pay it.
Family don't stick together, huh?
We tried. They refused to
Okay.
dismiss that
Well,
ticket,
when they come here to Hoboken, then I hope you hit the New York City PD cars then.
Did they get a sketch of the person who gave
Let's
them
not
the
start that.
ticket?
But that's shed light on that
Okay.
summons, yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
So I guess we can vote on claims?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Farina?
On the claims, Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Hymus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
No on 25-02707 sketch. Yes for everything else.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Aye. Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle?
Aye. CA6, I believe.
A1.
That.
A1?
A1 don't count.
Oh, I skipped over, I'm sorry. A1, yes, that which is a resolution approving a community host agreement with Karma Dispensary LLC. Councilwoman Fisher?
Yep, so they didn't give us any information about it, the dispensary. It hasn't gone to the planning board yet and gotten approval. We haven't approved it. So why are we even looking at a host agreement right now? It feels like this is premature and we should just wait until it goes through the process and comes to us after all the approvals are done. What'd you say? Ruben?
Well, I mean,
Well, Corporation Counsel, can you tell us the order of operations in which it has to go through?
Truth be told, I don't know the order of operations as I sit here off the top of my head. I can tell you that this was reviewed by the cannabis review attorney as far as its completion. I can look into, I don't know the details of what this applicant has been through and what our ordinance currently says off the top of my head. We can get back to you.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we haven't-
it's,
I don't think there's any urgency because we
Yeah,
have,
there's no urgency here.
we have to approve it as a council. Yeah. No,
and
I don't know.
even just getting more information, like I didn't.
it is in Newman Leathers, because
No, I know it. I know it's a Newman. I know it's a Newman Leather because it said 300 Observer, and I had just generally heard it, but it's not. I think we just typically will get more information before we're approving it. We haven't gotten anything, so.
Yeah, I mean, there is a chicken and an egg element to it. I mean, it obviously will never become effective if they never get a license. So, but if it was being suggested to initiate the negotiations, I might agree that why bother to pay someone to negotiate a contract but now that it's done, I guess we can put it on a shelf and wait
Yeah,
until.
just wait until the whole thing comes to us, right? And the planning board sees it and
Yeah,
as opposed to us doing a preliminary approval of something that we have no idea anything about it. I just feel like we do these host agreements after the fact. We don't typically do them before the fact, so.
We have, all of them,
right.
all of them have been after the fact, so I don't see if there's an urgency, then that's a different story,
Just
but.
table it, or?
Yeah.
Table it,
Yeah,
or
or
just
carry
remove
it,
it for
yeah.
now.
All right, is there any reason, Director Stratton, that would be?
I mean, the agreement's ripe. It's been before the board and the Cannabis Review Board.
Right, but it hasn't gone to the planning board yet.
I'm okay with tabling it.
The community host agreement.
I'm the sponsor.
What was
so-
proffered in the community host agreement, I don't anticipate changing based on the planning board feedback or this board's feedback. This was negotiated by the mayor and presented to the council.
He said he'd carry it, so.
Well, the sponsor has said he's okay with tabling it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
You want to call the vote?
Aye.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes, this is a vote to table.
Mrs. Imish?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye. Okay. CA6, which is a resolution declaring an emergency requiring construction of the Madison Street area water main emergency improvements in the city of Hoboken, Hudson County, New Jersey, to prevent further damage and mitigate danger to human life and safety, the environment, and surrounding infrastructure. I believe this was
Yeah, this one,
Councilman
I just,
President
Director Gonzalez, I think you could probably fill me in. I read it and I was just kind of like, I know there's some electrical lines, it looks like, with the water, and maybe you could give a little, and then this would lead me to the second question. I know we're doing first reading on the bond, so I'm guessing it's connected to the bond or no?
Not at all, no. Totally unrelated.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe we could do both of those at once, because I didn't get a chance to ask about the bond. But do the bond second. This one, I want to know more about what happened
You're
when they
talking
dug
about
it
on
up.
first reading?
Yeah, the
bond?
first reading, I don't even know. Like, so I figured we have her up here and I'd ask.
Sure.
Do you want to go out of sequence? You're just doing anything you feel like doing?
No. I want to know the CA6 because I
Yeah,
thought
no,
it was
that's-
connected. I
yep,
thought it was
yep.
connected.
All right.
Not. What I certainly hope it is ending mid-December. That is what we are, December, we are striving for.
Weeks away.
We are aiming for the water work to be done right after Thanksgiving, if not by Thanksgiving, and then the paving will happen after that.
Right.
Assuming water on the mind, weather holds out. Yeah.
So,
So what happened?
Yeah.
As the resolution says, there was a very critical near-miss safety incident by the original contractor who was hired by North Hudson Sewerage Authority, but through a shared services agreement that was executed with the city council, wherein the city pays for the water work and North Hudson Sewerage Authority pays for the sewer work. NHSA was, managing, they bid out the project. It went to a standard low bid contractor. They had a very significant safety incident. I'm happy to discuss more about that safety incident with you offline. As a result, we were not confident in their ability to complete the rest of the project, the water work, which was the scope of which the city is responsible for, safely or frankly effectively on our most vulnerable infrastructure. So we did remove that work from the NHSA contract. We did receive a credit for the remaining work under that contract, reduced that purchase order, or issued this emergency purchase authority for this contract, working with a contractor whom is a pre-qualified contractor for all of our water work in town and does very reliable work.
I was just trying to figure out how the circle of life there, but thank you. That clears it up.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the comprehensive explanation, Director. Are we, Councilman, are you?
I'm
okay?
good. I would ask on the, I know I'm jumping out of turn, but I'm asking you on the first reading, I'd like to know a little bit more about the bond. I didn't have a chance. some family stuff I had to take
Yeah,
care of.
why don't we do that when we get?
Yeah, that's fine. I
when-
just
when
wanted to
we
make
get
sure
to it.
before we vote.
We would like to look at, I'll keep my mouth shut. All right, Mr. Freenip, will you please call the vote on CA6?
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Imish?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano.
Aye.
Mr. Quintero.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos. Mr. Russo.
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye. So CA8, a resolution granting waiver of Hoboken's noise control ordinance for the Madison Street Area Infrastructure Improvements Project along Madison Street between 9th Street and 11th Street. Councilman Russo.
Council President, thank you. I'm just going to briefly say, I think our residents just need some relief. We're constantly, they're dealing with these projects all across the city. Now they're dealing with them overnight. It's getting more and more difficult for residents and families to just function on a normal basis. It may prolong the project a little bit, but I think extending the hours becomes problematic. So I'm going to vote no on it.
Council President?
Councilman Cohen?
Just a brief comment on this. In order to do this work, you have to disconnect the water to relocate the water mains. When you have like daycares and schools, you really can't shut them down during the daytime. The folks in this neighborhood have put up with a lot, and they've been in touch with me a lot about this.
I get them too.
If it's not done overnight, if it's done during daytime hours, not only is it going to shut down, the ShopRites in the neighborhood, there's a lot of businesses are going to be adversely impacted. Traffic flow is going to be adversely impacted. By doing it overnight, you're allowing them to complete this project and actually get the road paved before the asphalt suppliers shut down for the winter. So the hope is that for these few weeks of getting this done, you're going to be able to get Madison Street paved for this neighborhood, which again, they've put up with a lot, and this is not good. It is a legit emergency though. And if it had gone the way it should have gone the first time through, we wouldn't be here.
Understood.
But the contractor created a real terrible situation and it had to get fixed. So anyway, thank you, Council President.
Council President, only because I thought we had this conversation and then you sent an email saying that it was ending anyway.
Yep, if I could clarify. So this is basically a just in case. We do not think there will be any additional night work necessary. The first week of night work was necessary because of the service transfers that Councilman Cohen referenced that we discussed in subcommittee. We are keeping this on the agenda solely because there are still 2 more tie-ins that need to occur, one at 10th and one at 11th. Could result potentially in a need for some select overnight work, but we're really hoping it doesn't. For example, we were able to complete the tie-in at 9th today during the day. So our hope is that this is not necessary, but we wanted to, in full transparency, come to you and ask for authorization just in case. So we are continuing during the day, to be very clear.
Good.
Thank you, Director. Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohen.
Aye.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mrs. Hymas.
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour.
Yes.
President Zano.
Aye.
Mr. Quintero.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos. Mr. Russo.
No.
President Doyle.
Aye. CC1, which is a resolution amending the professional services contract with Hanrahan Pack LLC for general litigation counsel in the increased amount of $40,000 for a new contract amount of $75,000. Councilwoman Fisher.
Yeah, just it's a big increase, and it didn't say what they were working on.
Sure, so they're working on the Marshallek versus City of Hoboken matter. If you're not familiar with that, we can go into closed session and discuss the update of it.
Okay. No, I'm not, but that's okay. Everyone else seems to know what it is. Okay, and 40,000 just...
Gets us to the end of the year, and actually the JIF is covering some of the other legal fees imposed, and I actually wrote them a letter, I want to say it was last week, requesting that they cover this. We might actually get reimbursed.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohen.
Aye.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mrs. Hymas.
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour.
Yes.
President Zano.
Aye.
Mr. Quintero.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos.
Aye.
Mr. Russo.
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye. On to public portion, comments on anything. So, Tony Soares, I believe you signed up, well, you're entitled to speak on whatever you like, and you're interested in the first of the first readings?
Yeah, I'm just general public portion. Is what
Yep.
I'm interested in. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I think they can hear me. Thank you, Tony. Bollards. What is going on in this city? I am sorry, I've lived in this town for 35 years. There has not been a lot of people killed because we didn't have bollards. They are ugly, they are unsightly, and they are killing businesses left and right. On 11th and Grand, Dolce and Salato, cafe that as people know I'm involved with just because I manage the building. But they never have problems with double parking. They have never problems with sight lines. It's a dead end. They just put up 12 bollards on 4 corners and a bump out. That's just stupidity. It's showboating to say to Bike Hoboken, oh, look what we're doing, to say to national politics, come and tour our city, look at all our daylighting. Back when Dave Roberts was mayor, he put those pedestrian, stop for pedestrians. It slowed down traffic way more effectively. And the other thing about the bollards, the trucks just park right over them. They're parking right over them. They're not saving lives. They're killing the charm of the city. It's just a political publicity. The other thing about it, last week I was driving down Willow Avenue. Police cars behind me. Had to pull over. But guess what? You can't pull over when there's bollards. So I had to keep driving and driving and driving 4 blocks before there was a place to pull over. Because Willow Avenue by the hospital, everything is very narrow. So the bollards did that. I'm sorry, I have a little Mazda. I'm trying to be green and energy efficient with my little Mazda. Well, I can't drive over a bollard because it'll, ruin the bottom of the car. So, can we just stop? Did we have a sale on these somewhere? Or, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but it's just ugly too. You don't even, and since we always point to Jersey City as being the best when it comes to bikes, they don't do this. They don't do this. They have they let you park within 10 feet of a crosswalk. And it's the truth. I'm there all the time. Nobody can dispute that. ADA parking. There's way too much abuse. You're giving out the handicap spots in this town like it's candy. I was on that committee. And we were tough. If you are entitled to a handicap license plate, which I have myself, or a tag, that does not entitle you to a permanent handicap spot on the street. We have blocks now where people just are getting them. We have people right in this vicinity running their businesses and getting handicap tags and license plates so that they can have a spot in front of their house to run their business out of. I would always say, what we really should do, is take out the Etch-a-Sketch, shake it up, clear the slate, and then do what the state requires, which is X amount of spots per the percentage. So if I go to Short Hills Mall, which I haven't been to in many years, if I want to use the handicap spot, if it's full, sorry, I can't. And what we do only in extreme situations, someone who is in a motorized wheelchair or someone who's really permanently disabled, not arthritis, and they have to use a cane once in a while, they get the spot in front of their house. Someone who has a child that can't walk or has mobility, or a person who, whatever the disability is, I don't want to be the judge of that. But we're just way too. The whole block of Clinton Street, from in front of Columbus Park, the entire thing. That's just not possible that there's that many people that should have those spots. You see it all over town now, and it's getting bad. And what it's doing is, it's making it for people who really need the disabled spots become the enemy of the people who want parking spots, just in general. Because I hear from people all the time, oh, those damn handicap spots everywhere. They're taking them all up. And people aren't taking, and it's a real need for that. Now, on ADA compliance, too. The city still does a crap job enforcing ADA compliance. Zoning board is not following it. Planning board's not following it right. People, when they redo a building up to a certain percentage, they have to be ADA compliant. They get told, I've been told, and I don't know if it's true or not, that somebody's a zoning officer tells them how to avoid doing the handicap the ADA compliance. We have stores where the dining is downstairs. They say, oh, well, we're going to have the same thing upstairs. Well, guess what? One of the places that did that, it's going to be two different concepts. So if you want to bring your elderly parent, or you break your leg skiing, or if you do have a permanent disability, you might not be able to enjoy the lower level of a new venue coming to Hoboken, or one that's already here. It's a serious thing. It is segregation. It is a civil rights law. It's a federal law. We're worrying about a bike not being able to go down like one street because of a weird, like because they don't want parking. But we have people who can't even get a wheelchair into a restaurant. And I'm sure we all know someone who's probably experienced that. Historic preservation. I really think it's important in our town to have it. But the current commission is allowing now strip mall style backlit signs where I don't want to pick on the business, but one's like a dog place uptown. It's pink, it's backlit neon, backlit, not even historic neon. The Whole Foods sign looks like it should be on Route 17. I mean, it does. It looks like a strip mall. I mean,
Mr. Soares, could you please wrap it up?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
all right. So anyway, I thought we had longer time I thought we had 7 minutes now. But so all right, that's all I have. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Enrique Herrera?
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to dedicate this public portions to floater friends and definitions and stuff like that involving outsiders of friend groups and corp friend groups. Floater friend 101. A floater friend is someone who socializes with multiple friend groups but isn't a core member of any single one. They're often friendly and easy to go along with, participating in many group activities but without being central to the planning or deeper conversations. This role can be both freeing due to lack of group pressure and lonely and isolated, as they may lack a solid core group of support. Kudos from social media, I got that definition from there. Including the second part of this would be social deprivation and lack of knowledge of that topic matter of you not being a part of a core friend group. That induces social hardship, much like financial deprivation that induces financial hardship. Should be looked upon by law enforcement as abuse and defamation by or family, friends, and professional contacts. That who have defamed the man or woman in question or removed them based upon mechanical dating systems, or you couldn't bring them up the right way in conversation or song, which led to their misfortune of finding out things of that nature. How do you live knowing you don't speak the name of that person in a core friend group, or you don't talk to that person? It befuddles most, and to find that you're not a part of any friend group, or at least not included in anything, that's one way of describing that type of social anxiety when it comes down to meeting new people. You're left thinking that you're like a Morgan from Walking Dead of the friend group or anything like that. So I'm gonna just reiterate that. How do you live now knowing you don't speak the name Enrique Herrera? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. Patricia Waiters?
We're going to miss you, Council President. Patricia Waiters. All right. And this is for whoever watching and don't like the way I talk. Don't watch, because I'm not going to change who I am. Just a few things. I'm going to call it housekeeping, like you, Mr. President. Today, I love the way Tony Soares spoke. I must respectfully say that first, because I did sit on that committee with him about 5 years before he even came to that committee. But all of these things we come into this body addressed in, are we being taken serious? We know what's getting ready to happen in 2 weeks. Pat Waiters don't sugarcoat anything. Y'all seen the last election. Pat Waiters is loud, and I'm proud of it. Pat Waiters don't mind losing a vote or two, because I'm going to run every year. So I don't care if I get 20 this year, 2,000 next year. I'm being serious. My phone is blowing up. I reached out to you, Ms. Jabor, right, respectfully, and spoke to you, because me and my daughter fighting, my blood daughter. I tell y'all, this is serious. Even after the election, we all got to live here, respectfully, and I'm being honest now. So we all create, and y'all better vote yes, because we need Mike's picture upstairs. Y'all got to be serious now, and I'm being very serious. Our city has been horrible. the last 8 years, and y'all know that. I'm going to see who be man or woman enough to admit that. I'm going to be at the debate in the front with boxing gloves on. These issues is serious, y'all. I'm not even playing. These issues are very serious. We cannot get a mayor. We can't even afford it. And the first thing I better see is a reduction in that not to exceed legal fees. That's the first thing I'm looking for the mayor to do. And I'm serious. I'm watching every penny. I want y'all to take this serious because people have still not yet decided what direction is this city going to go in with the next mayor. You guys made it to the runoff. Make us proud. That's all I'm saying. Y'all know, I don't care. I don't get disappointed at no election. It ain't about me. It's about the people. It's about the people. Now, I came home from work today, and I'm so upset, and I looked on my block, and Mike live in the same ward as me. I said, when did this take place? Now, I never miss a meeting. I didn't even know about that plan, but what I do know is for 2 weeks straight, we had to move our car at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning. Y'all don't even think about what we are impacted with as residents. This went on for 2 weeks. I'm not upset because I know the ADA laws. And I shouldn't have to be nobody's friend that's running that I'm scared they're going to touch my space. Let them. That's why I was so happy when I seen they didn't. Y'all working with me, Mike, so don't even play saying that. I know my rights. That's why I left the committee, too. Tony hit it right on the nose. People was coming to me, well, I'm going to go tell the mayor, you ain't giving me my spot. Calling down to Trenton, threatening our assemblymen to get a spot. Those spots are not Christmas cookies. I tell y'all all the time. I worked on the county with Patricia Logan, handicap committee, and I did what was right. It ain't about what she don't. Yes, I do qualify. I was damn near dead and blessed to be alive from stage 3 cancer. And I have issues impacting that every day of my life. Yeah, I'm tough. I ain't scared of nobody, but I'm scared of cancer. And my fight ain't over. So that's serious. For people that really need it, if y'all not your friend, if I'm not your friend and I don't like Mike and I don't like Ruben, I'm not going to get their vote. Let's stop that too. Let's hope we have a new city council, mayor, and I'm serious. And it ain't no more about do we got the right amount of votes. That's a horrible thing to do to us as members of the public. We come into these meetings excited, and y'all know y'all already cut the deal 2 days ago. Stop doing that. It's a lot that got to be changed, and I promised everybody, when I tell you who I'm supporting, please support me. This for everybody that live in Hoboken. I use this public portion tonight to say that, and I'm serious. This is our city. We pick who our next mayor is. And I'm going to miss you, Mr. Doyle. I'm being honest, because you just did a whole third-degree turn at the end of your stay, and that's good. So we got something good to remember you by. But again, guys, just watching this, I did come out like I promised you guys and let y'all know the seriousness. All that cockiness, my way or the highway, they don't got the vote. We coming at y'all. Accountability. You feel me? And I'm serious. I'll talk in Ebonics, Spanish, whatever language you want me to, but do you feel me? My people understand me. Let's get this city back on track, guys. Oh, in closing, saying this. Today, to have a union suppressed because of an election coming up, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Them boys be out there cleaning snow, busting their butt, but y'all could sit here and give top-heavy raises and stuff to. Why did y'all do that and we got an election coming up in 2 weeks and did that to that union? I'm not going to say no names because I don't want to cry, but stop doing that. They deserve more than 2%. They don't want to keep this city going. But y'all go outsource somebody and give them triple their salary. We need an intelligent man. Stop that too. Don't go looking for no new directors to replace my directors. They've been doing the job for years. Y'all go get a stranger from West Butterfuck and bring them here. Excuse me. Y'all go get a stranger from wherever making money. For real, I'm serious when we got directors right here. So I'm closing with saying that. Think about our union and our employees. And most of them got years in this city. Please, stop outsourcing jobs. I'm going to be the first one in your office, and I'm not playing, Mike.
Thank you very much, Ms. Waiters. Manuel Rivera Soler.
Thank you once again, Council President. Good evening. Good evening to you all. Good evening, members of the public. Council President, I would like to start. First of all, I would like to compliment Corporate Counsel on his sharp tie. Tell me later where you got that. Also, Council President, I would like to take a moment again to congratulate and welcome. I guess you already did it. I would have preferred to be at the swearing in, but to the 6th Ward Council Representative Diane Imos. I hope I said that correct. I'll perfect it if it's not it. But so welcome to her. We will have a lot of time to get to know each other further. I hope members of the public and members of the 6th Ward also endeavor to know you better. Also, Council President, I would just like to say that I was remiss last meeting. I guess I was emotional, but fact of the matter is that on my unofficial duty as the consoler of the council, again, a title that I made up. If anyone wants to make that permanent, go right ahead. That a member of the public, a resident of our city, passed a week ago, and again, I was remiss. I was too emotional. It was a picture of former council President Emeritus in my heart, Giantino, standing on my left here. So I was remiss, but I would like to say that we will miss you very much. My dearest friend, went to school with him, Jimmy Monaco. Mr. Monaco was a resident of Hoboken, like me, almost born and raised, I believe. He was a 44-year employee of the Board of Education, always kept the schools tidy and neat, regardless of whatever may have tried to take that away from him. No one will. I express our, hopefully, heartfelt sentiments to his family and all of those he loved. And Council President, I would also like to say that, yes, we have a very important decision to make pretty soon, December 2nd. I urge, as I always do, my fellow residents to please take time to discern your candidates, both for mayor as well as the at-large council members. These are important positions. We need to take them serious. We need to take the candidates serious. We need to ask them questions and hopefully get to know them better and choose our leaders accordingly. And I hope we do. Council President, also, I would like to say, and of course, this is what is always in my heart, and I say it constantly, and people ask me, why do you keep saying it? Because until victory is obtained, until peace and democracy is restored, to all our fellow residents of our sister city, Melitopol in the Ukraine, we say to them, we always will, Slava Ukraini, glory to Ukraine, Heroyam Slava, glory to the heroes. And Council President, it's currently in our sister city, in case you ever want to visit when you retire, not now. It is approximately 46 degrees Celsius and 35 degrees Fahrenheit in our sister city, so it's a little chilly. So I just wanted to throw that in there as a fun fact, because everything cannot be, I got you. But anyway, with that, Council President, I will conclude, and I will say again, as I always do, again, congratulations to the 6th Ward Council member, and to all of you, Council President, God bless you all, and God bless Hoboken, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera-Soler. Linda C.A. Capello? Oh. Capiello, okay. I'm going to spell that for you. You don't have to tell us in public, but
Thank you.
I am aware of that.
My clock start yet?
Has not started yet because the clerk is interrupting you.
Hey, Jimmy. Congratulations to those who won, and good luck to the new upcoming mayor. I wish Hoboken well and you well. So Tony had a lot of thoughts that were on my mind I wasn't even going to mention, but since he did, I just want to briefly mention lights, lights, that's not what I was here about, but I did want to mention it because I'm starting to notice that all over town. Actually, near Grand Street, there's like, I don't even know how they do that, lights on the sidewalk, and I think we have to be conscious of lights because when you're driving and you see this going and they're not going off at a certain time. So I think that is an issue. Not proven yet, but early medical data is starting to show that people can't sleep. Night pollution may have a link to early Alzheimer's. Not proven, don't want to start any rumors, but I just think we need to take light seriously. And I think in a previous zoning report a few years ago, right, in Hoboken, it did state that that was an issue already, that they thought development should start looking at lighting, just in general for Hoboken. So I just wanted to jump on that, not what I was here for. The second thing I just want to mention, and I'm not totally well-versed in this, but I know you are. I had come and spoken when you made the hospital zone a redevelopment zone. I'm aware that 122 Clinton, they came and they did quite a good argument. Everybody voted for it. I didn't agree. I objected. I was probably the only one here. And then they came and made a very good argument, and I was happy that you reversed it. I still think that's a poor decision. And also not the main reason to be here, but I only mention it because I think I saw in the paper recently that the hospital in Jersey City has laid off many people, and the hospital is closing. And what I've learned in my life, health is everything, and you can't replace a life. And I just want to urge everyone that this is a really important priority. And I also read in the paper that that the city council in Jersey City actually just recently reversed the rules on housing, that they had to now go back and make it a medical zone and limit the housing they originally changed the zone for. You can't quote me. It was just a quick 1-minute look at a paper, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's going to be high priority for the new governor. Why am I really here? The Grand Street protected lanes. I think I don't agree with them. I tried to look at the plans, but I never got my hands on them despite requests. Anyway, obviously the parking is a concern. The aesthetics, I also don't, these plastic items, but I want to focus on safety and my concerns. First of all, I don't know who's funding this. Who is funding this project? Is it the city, the state, the federal government?
Grant.
Okay, that might influence the rules, so I'm told, that whoever funds it, we might have different rules. I'm concerned, I don't think you need a shoulder, I'm not an expert, but I'm concerned that there'll be no shoulder that someone could pass if there's an emergency. I'm very conscious of ambulances having to go through, pick people up, go through. I think they will be delayed. It doesn't take a lot to go from a good health outcome to a poor one if someone's having a heart attack in a residence, or I don't know if Church Towers has a different exit. Certainly the exit on Grand Street I'd be concerned with. I could even bring pictures from this week where I saw literally no room. So obviously the project's gone ahead, and I walked past it. And just a couple of things I want to mention. The narrowness is concerning. The loss of parking is concerning. The aesthetics, it is going to hurt people, businesses. I'm deeply concerned if e-bikes, the rules, because when a lot of the rules were made, they were just bicycles. All comes to safety. I don't know if they will have to stop. I don't know if they can use it. So I just that was really my main point here. I went by and I did some measurements. I'm not an expert. I just have my tape measure. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned just looking at what's there right now. It looks like it's over getting right where it's Acme. One of the parking widths is only 7 feet. Now, I literally had like 10 minutes to prepare for tonight, but I pulled up the DOT booklet, and I did get through to Hudson County, and they say usually you have 9 feet wide for parking, for regular parking, and 12 feet for handicapped. So I took some measurements. I'm not expert measurements, and I don't know who's in charge of this project, but I'm concerned that if you look at the east side, you only have 7 feet wide for cars right now, where they painted, give or take a few inches, and if that's supposed to be 9 feet. Now, if you go by tonight and you walk by it, and I think you should, you'll see the cars are actually, they're over the line already into the middle of the street. Because, and I'm not faulting them, they have to park and they're hanging over. So I'm just really concerned, and I so concerned that I just think, you know, the city should rethink this, and maybe,
Linda?
I don't know if you could even do, you got it, thank you. I think it's so serious, I would suggest you consider a stop order on this project immediately. Return the money to the city and open this up to the community. Right in the beginning, in the DOT says community involvement, and let Rosemary, let people in the community look at what they did so far and give input. But anyway, if the city could go down and do measurements and really check this out and think about some of the things I said, I'd be glad to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anthony Koskinski?
I don't know if I wrote it wrong or you said it wrong, but it's Kozakowski.
Was it close?
Close enough. All right. So last time I was here, I got a little heated. I'm nowhere close to apologizing, but believe me, I want to be as loving as I possibly can. Let me be clear about something. We've all seen the Terminator. Right now in China, there's a digital AI surveillance program nationwide called Skynet. When you look at autonomous AI and their subsidiary companies, the corporations that are funding them are funding the things that you've brought into Hoboken. Now, I know we've done this under public safety. Public safety is what tyrants always use as an excuse. Now, there's a great email that Rob sent out about his Balabots saying he knows there hasn't been a traffic death in 10 years in Hoboken, but we need to be safer. So maybe the cameras raise the dead. Is this what we're suggesting at this point? I'm going to give you some statistics that business is down 20%, you care 0%. Fair enough. I'll also give you some very interesting statistics. And pay attention to this one. I've spoken to a considerable amount of Hoboken voters. They, like myself, loved you, Emily. I was a big Emily person for a while. After this issue, 100% of people, that's a statistic, right? And you guys love those. 100% of Hoboken voters that found out about Emily backing this now don't want you to be mayor. Here's the thing. We know that politics get messy. I understand when you put your head down on the pillow at night, you say, if I sell my soul here, maybe I could do something good here. If I sell my soul here, maybe I could do something good here. Right? I give you those mulligans. That's why you don't see me that much. When you start the process of weaponizing AI against your citizens, you have crossed a line, and your children's grandchildren will suffer. Now, I don't know how you can make a statistic about that, but I'm going to give you another statistic. I am 100% committed to making sure these cameras come down. I'm going to tell you something. My group in Manhattan has run 5,000 to 10,000 people rallies. We're just getting started. Now, you might have seen me on News 12, you might have seen me name drop you, because you sold your soul and it's a problem. I wanted you to be in the State Assembly. You're not going to get your soul back on this one. The last time I was here, I spoke of a power that transcends government. That power is the human heart. And when you sell us to Skynet, enjoy taking your bike to your new job. That's all I got to say, guys.
Thank you. Rosemary Markle.
Not going to be that long, Patty. You could go. Okay. I just want to say something about the first reading because I won't be here for the next meeting, so I won't have my opportunity to say anything. I just want to let everyone know that you're going to be raising fees, transaction fees for all things that we must pay through the city via this new company and credit card services. So you're going to have to pay 2 fees, and I think the public needs to know that. So it's a minimum of a $5 transaction for everything. And the second one is a bond for $5 million, and I understand there's a necessity for bonds. I get it, but it should be for necessities. How much of this bond is going towards art? Art is not a necessity, it's a want. And I know this was done by an executive order that every bond has 1% that's put towards city art. This should go in front of the voters. I mean, why are we bonding for art now? We're in a crunch. All you keep doing is raising our taxes. I don't want to pay tax for art. It's bad enough I pay business tax and I get nothing out of that. I get nothing out of this art. So please, I understand we have to do bonds, and when these bonds come up, how much are we going to have to pay in extra taxes? And I'd just like to thank Tony for saying about the bollards. Hoboken has lost its charm a long time ago. We're never going to get it back. And it's a sad thing to say. Grand Street is an absolute disgrace. It's disgusting. We're going to look like a third world country. And I just spoke to you about a car that's parked there in the spot, and he's hanging over it because it's too wide. They didn't make the width wide enough. When you do that, you're going to cut now the parking, the space for driving. So good luck to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Markle. No other members of the public are signed up to
Close
speak?
public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
If we could, Director Gonzalez, could you come up and answer Councilman Presenzano's question about the bond, which is the third item in the introduction of first ordinances? We'll make an exception to the general rule.
This is a proposed bond ordinance to effectuate the lead service line replacement program that we had authorized, the City Council had authorized in a prior ordinance a few months ago. I would have to check the date. I apologize on that. But so this is for the first tranche of it. We expect that somewhere north of $4 million of this bond ordinance would go towards that. Any remaining would be for extra capital funds for the water utility for any overages in what we call our MCAP, which is our Maintenance and Capital Improvement Fund associated with, annual repairs and maintenance.
So this is for city water lines or for personal water lines?
It is to start the lead service line replacement program, which is personal water lead lines. If you recall, when you authorized that ordinance, it is required by 2031.
State law requires.
State law requires that we replace all those lines by 2031. Sorry, in my head, I'm seeing
this is
2032, and now I'm not.
Could be
It's 2031.
32.
This is a water utility bond then?
It's a water utility ordinance.
Paid for by the water utility.
We're not paying it.
Okay.
Water utility
I
is.
think,
All right, thank you. Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
good enough
Thank
for
you,
me.
Director, for
Thank you.
sticking around. All right, so Jimmy, you want to do the honors?
Ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 192 parking for persons with disabilities to add reserved parking, reserved parking spaces.
On Adams Street and Third Street, and to remove a general parking space on Adams Street? Right? Yeah, I'm just jumping on the bandwagon.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Ordinance for introduction, amending Article 16, miscellaneous fees for online transactions.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Fisher?
Yes, I'm first
Mrs.
reading.
Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Yes, first
Mr.
reading.
Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
No.
Mr. Russo?
No.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Twice?
Ordinance for introduction, bond ordinance authorizing completion of various water system capital improvements, including public art acquisition installments and capital facility improvements allocations related to thereto in and for the City of Hoboken, County of Hudson, New Jersey, appropriating the sum of $5,050,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds or bond anticipation notes of the City of Hoboken, County of Hudson, New Jersey, in the aggregate principal amount of up to $5,047,500, making certain determinations and covenants and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing.
Thank you, Mr. Farina. Please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano,
Aye.
Mr. Quintero,
Aye.
Mr. Ramos, Mr. Russo,
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Ordinance for introduction, ordinance amending Chapter 145, Peace and Good Order, Section 145-25, images-based automated traffic light and stop sign enforcement technology prohibited, to establish a holiday season moratorium through January 15th on unmanned camera-based parking enforcement.
Thank you, Mr. Farina. Please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
No.
Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mr. Jabour?
No.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
No.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
No.
Ordinance for introduction of City of Hoboken in the County of Hudson, State of New Jersey, amending, supplementing City Code Chapter 65A entitled Affordable Housing.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mr. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye.
Ordinance for introduction, ordinance amending Chapter 190-11 entitled Loading Zone to add a loading zone to Jackson Street between Observer Highway and North Street.
Mr. Farina, please call the vote.
Mr. Cohn?
Aye.
Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
Aye. New business? Councilman Ramos?
Yeah, do we have the time frame for when Crimmins will be reinstated as the fire chief?
Actually, this, we should go into closed session.
Yeah, I was going to
Okay.
ask if I want to go to closed session about it, but whatever.
That's
think we should-
fine. Motion to go into closed session?
Second.
All right, I'll call the vote for a motion to go into closed session, Mr. Farina?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to vote whether we're going to go in.
Mr. Cohn?
No.
Excuse me.
No.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Imus?
Yes.
Mrs. Jabour?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. President Zano?
Aye.
Mr. Quintero?
Aye.
Mr. Ramos?
Aye.
Mr. Russo?
Aye.
President Doyle.
No. But it passes.
Passes.
So,
Going into closed session.
Okay, I get one.
thank you,
Hurry up.
everyone. Or if you,
Public has to leave.
if we could clear the room, the meeting
go back online so we can do.
All right.
Motion to close.
Second.
All, aye. Nope, we're done.
Just talked about you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, you've never had a close session.
Yeah, no, but I would, somebody person.
Well, that too. But yeah, that's the first one I went through. I hate him anyway.
He's arrogant too.
When they took that safety, he looked dead at it.